What's up, traders? Today's number 43 of the $1,000 account challenge, and we are up $166 in the account, or 4.68% of the total portfolio balance. Now, if you don't know, my name is Gates. I'm taking $1,000 and I'm day trading options to see how far we can grow this account. Today, straight off the day trade watch list, we had MU as a long idea above $90. Now, this was a late addition to my watch list this morning because of some news that came out on the stock, pressing it up towards the $90 price point in the pre-market. So what I was looking for was a continuation run topside following this news event. So moving this to the 1 minute time frame, we get the initial run up above 90 shortly after the open, the pullback to hold 90 as a point of support. It's holding. And when this started to show a bit more green, pressing topside up off of $90, I pulled the trigger. I told everybody I'm going long on MU right here for the move up into the high of day. Stop loss was going to be placed at 89.5. So the amount of risk off looks like that versus the amount of potential reward up to the high of day, which we got the move through the high of day, but up to the high of day at least looks like that. So our reward amount looks like that. Risk amount looks like that. It's more than double. That's what we look for with our risk to reward ratio. So we get the run up into the high of day, sold out at a 20% gain, 20%. Fantastic trade, right? But I'm not finished here because I'm thinking this has potential to continue to go based off of what? The news catalyst that came out this morning. But in the alert room, after we get this hard sell candle here, on my re-entry on MU, if you follow, use smaller size this time because we're going long into a sell-off candle. So I wanted you to not risk your profits on this trade from the last trade, right? If we're up 20% on this trade and we're green on the day and we take a re-entry, I do not want to be in a position where this new trade puts us red on the day or puts me red on the day. So we take the entry right at $90, $9.43, stop loss at break below 89.5. Unfortunately, we do get that break down below 89.5, and this trade just doesn't work. It's the same exact idea of previously, right? Where we take the entry here, looking for the stop loss at 89.5. This first initial entry worked. We take the entry here, looking for the breakdown or looking for the stop loss at 89.5, but we just don't get the bounce. This time we get stopped out. But if you used smaller size as noted previously, this trade should not have put you red on the day overall. So that's those two trades on MU, and unfortunately, it does wind up working later on, runs up to highs of 92.35. 5 minute time frame. I think in real time we made the right decision. This looks like it's selling pretty aggressively at that time. No way to know that this would have consolidated and rallied back up. You could have maybe taken a re-entry on a break above $90 later on, but I was done trading for the morning at that time. The only other trade that I took was on AMD. And let me break down what happened here. So this was a long idea above $179 and a short idea below $175. AMD effectively rejects this long trigger up here at 179 and sells off very aggressively down to 175. Naturally, we get a bounce at that support and a rally up to the previous day's closing price. I should have taken the entry short here on this rally up to test the PDC, because what happens at this time is that AMD effectively goes from green to red move by breaking below the PDC. So on a bounce move back up, that PDC is naturally going to act as a point of resistance. Unfortunately, I was a little late on this and did not take that initial entry there, because if I did, that would have been a 20% move down to the bottom side. We would have been out of that trade for profit. But when I saw that happen, that worked as confirmation for me. And so we get the bounce back up off 175, and I'm thinking this is potentially going to be a lower high, and AMD sells right back off to the low of day. Now we can get our 20% move, right? So we enter short here. We're green the entire time during this trade. We do get the flash move down to the low of day. I was up over 10% at this time. I think almost 15%. I did not take the profits, and unfortunately that dip gets bought right back up off of 175. I wound up closing the position out here for a break-even trade. So missed opportunity there on AMD, not only to take the first entry off the PDC for the move down, but then also the ability to take the profits that were offered on that second trade. But it was a wash trade nonetheless, so no harm, no foul there. Just pay a little bit of commission fees for the amount of contracts purchased. That puts us green on the day, up $166, 4.68%. Again, you just need to learn how to manage the risk properly. I know the second MU trade didn't work. It was a losing trade. I think this wound up being about a 20% loss for me on the downside, but as I mentioned when I took the entry, should have been a size down position because this was an aggressive sell-off and we did not know or have bounce confirmation at that time. It was kind of a let's take the trade, see if it's worth the risk. I think it was absolutely worth the risk and unfortunately just didn't pay off. Okay, thank you for your time. I hope that the video has helped you out. Press that like button for me if it has, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. It's just the best way to support me in this type of work that I do. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow when we continue the $1,000 account challenge. Cheers.